All right, so if you're anybody out there looking to find a YouTube video about a 2004 alternator fusible link, guess what? It's not quite what you think it is. And 2004, 2001 to 2004 are different. You don't have a fusible link part that looks like, here, let me show you. Guess what? It doesn't look like this for 2004. Yeah, I looked everywhere, you know, the 100 amp one that you can buy online for like 10 bucks. Guess what? It's not that. I searched everywhere for that on my car, couldn't find it. So I'm going to show you where to find it and how to replace it. I also wanted to mention some of the symptoms of this. If you recently you tried to start your car, and what happened was it wouldn't shift out of park, and you had some dash lights on, and wouldn't start. It would crank and it would crank and it would crank, but it felt like it wasn't getting gas. I mean, I added gas. I tried a lot of weird things to see if I could get this started, but turns out a bunch of fuses were blown, replaced some fuses, still didn't work. So you got to fix that fusible link box. All right, so here's my RAV4. A lot of people have their fusible links right here, or in a nice little relay box like this. Guess what? It's not there. So you come over here to where the battery is. Some of the earlier RAVs have it right here, right next to the battery, and you just put that little fuse, you take it off, take out a couple of screws, but that is not what we have here. This is a different breed. Still trying to figure out how to get this off without breaking all the stupid plastic stuff, but I've got a couple of screws I know I need to take off from this side. Right, there's one there and one there. I've already taken those off actually. You got to take this nut off as well, 12 millimeter. You don't have to take this off to my knowledge yet. I haven't had to take this off. So I'm gonna do that. Something that's important is to remember to disconnect your battery terminals before you do this. This can give you quite a good shock if you don't do it. If you do it with the battery on. This nut is very tight on here. Don't lose it. It's a locking nut. It's a weird one. You kind of got to bend this a specific way. I can try to set this up here. In order to get it off, you got to bend it, push down, and then it pops off. So you push this down, pick up on here. That's how you get that off. I'm just gonna move that off to the side and take off the next one. At this point, you have a couple of options. Option one is the wiser. You can take this nut off and keep this for your battery terminal. Then you will have disconnected this red wire, or this, yeah, this is my positive side anyway. You'll also have to disconnect the electric wires down here. These electric components, I'm imagining they're just pinch and wiggle off. I don't need two hands. Look at me. All right, you'll do the same thing for this one. Just want to say something about getting these nuts with the nuts off with the lock nuts. These nuts are special. The way I got it off, the only way I was able to get it off was with like a DeWalt impact. Made it so much easier. I was trying to use my just ratchet and that did not work. I was even bending this a little bit, so I'll have to bend that back just a little bit. All right, I got my part off though. Look at that. Would you look at that? Now we're gonna do the part where it's a little bit, you know, let's just call it rash. So my plan is to take this part, take off these screws, and inside here there are these little fusible links. They look like little, maybe aluminum, I don't know, copper coated wire or something. I don't know exactly what they are. We're gonna find out how well they solder and see if I can save some money or not. All right, so I already took out one screw. I'm gonna take out the other screw really. All right, after I took off those screws, I flipped it over. So for me, some of this plastic was kind of brittle, but it opens from this side. These two clips, you're supposed to pry them up a little bit. For me, this is a 2004, so it's quite old, and that whole damn thing is falling off. But you know, what you gonna do? And would you look at that? There is our problem. That's also what saved, hopefully, fingers crossed, That's what saved my alternator. That's what saved your alternator, hopefully. All right, so this is the portion of the project that is not advisable, but it can get you by until you get that part. I'm on a holiday weekend. It is Thanksgiving weekend. There's no way I can actually get that part, and I don't have enough cars to be able to just sit around and not have a car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and solder those two together. I might not be able to get you the best view, and I'm not a professional solderer, but I have watched my friend solder a few times, so clean off your tip a little bit. This is not a soldering tutorial, honestly. Don't even watch me solder. You don't want to see this. Again to get it down a little farther. I think it worked. Next, I'm going to close it back up. Remember what I said about this not being advisable? Well, I wanted to explain that, but I kind of forgot what I was talking about. I forgot what I was doing. So, if this doesn't work, if this fuse doesn't blow, and you end up, you know, getting a short, or your car battery ends up getting charged backwards again because you were, I don't know, on drugs or something crazy. It just happens sometimes. Then this could potentially, well, not work at all. Not work as a fuse, which means you then have to deal with whatever else blows next. So that could be your alternator, that could be your battery catching on fire, and I heard those aren't fun. It could be a lot of fun things. No, not fun at all. My friend said, you know, your car might catch on fire if you do this. And I said, yeah, it's probably time it goes to car heaven or hell. Anyway, I mean, look at her. Actually, you don't see my car out there, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it works out, it works out. I'm only going to post this video if it works out slightly. If the car catches on fire, I'm probably not going to post this video. So if this video is still up, it means my car is still not on fire. At least with this not being the cause. So there's your caution. Your car could catch on fire if you do it this way. If you buy the correct part and you use a Fusible, or you get a whole new box like this from eBay or something, I could not find it on Amazon. So if you do it this way, you could save yourself some money, or you could lose all your car, you know. But hey, at least you know where the frickin' thing's at now. All right, just trying to take some precautions and pick some stuff. Grab my nuts and bolts, and I'm gonna go back outside and hook her up. So putting it back together is just opposite order. This wire. I had this idea where I was gonna go into the car and I was gonna show everybody, look how awesome I did, and the car just started immediately. Well, that's not gonna happen. Most likely, if you had this problem, your car battery is dead. You were trying to jump it and you messed it all up like I did. So you gotta get your battery charged next, in which case you get to try this awesomely fun thing that I did the last time, which is jump in your car with your jumper cables, and you'll hopefully do it correctly this time. So I'm gonna be very careful. Very, very careful. Learned that this is not the best way to charge your car battery, but I got some dinging sounds. I have a few lights on. I'm really scared. It's cranking it turned on! I can't believe it! Still not on fire either. I'm gonna take these off because I really don't trust any sort of charging stuff right now. Take those off, and last time I did this, what was happening is I could get it started with the juice from the truck, but it wouldn't stay running. And oh no, it didn't. So I guess I'm gonna take this apart and see if my little link that I made is busted or not. We'll see if it's separated again. That means I probably didn't do a good enough job soldering, or maybe I just need to use a solid piece of wire. I can try either thing. I'm not afraid to try some things. I just don't know what's gonna work. Well, I know it doesn't look good. and it might not be good, but it's gonna have to be good enough. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and then I'll just buy the part. But here we go. Let's see what happens. Hey, after I attached that wire, I had some more lights turning on inside the car. Almost like my heat worked and stuff that didn't work before. So I'm kind of curious. I also got my voltmeter out. Trying to do it with one hand as well. Always trying to do it with one hand. If any viewers out there like my video enough, you could do this. Freaking drive that. Do that right there. We got 15.3. Now let's see if the alternator works. We'll take this off. It still sounds the same, so that's good. It's charging itself. It's temporary. And it's not going up yet. Let's try this. Alright, I'm pretty pumped up. This was not going to happen on its own. I didn't know what I was doing at the beginning of this, but I really wanted my car back, you know? I thought I'd mess everything up, and so far, you know, I did mess up a lot of stuff. But thank God for fuses, you know? I didn't used to believe in fuses, but today I'm a believer. I'm a believer in a good fuse, okay? And yet I'm running my car without a fuse. So I guess I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna have to buy them. I'm gonna buy the correct part. I'm gonna put it in. But if you need to get by for a day, if you need to get by for a week, in the time that it takes to replace this, doesn't take that much time, but if you can't wait a week for that part, this is your fix. This is your fix for a week. It didn't work with just solder. I had to put a piece of wire in there. I think you saw the piece of wire, and that's what did it. I had to have enough, God, I'm guessing amperage. Had to be able to carry enough current across that wire, and what I was putting in there was not enough. It couldn't charge the battery through as small of a wire as it was. I used a piece of, I think it was 14, no, it was 12 gauge wire, I believe. I can double check that for us. But, my gosh, it's still running on its own. I mean, it's disconnected from the truck. This hasn't been like that for a few, more than a few weeks. Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It has been a long time coming. I'm bravely moving the truck away from the car because, you know, I'm a believer that it's gonna stay running. If it doesn't, you know, I'll have to not post this video. Still no fire. You know, that's really what we're looking for, and I'm pretty fired up that it's not on fire, you know? If I get fired, I'm gonna stop talking. When I put that bigger piece of wire in, I looked down and I noticed I had my lights back. All the lights I didn't have before. And oh, it's so nice to drive this, to be in this car, because it has heat. I like hard. That truck does not have heat. It is moving. It is moving. All right, here are some of my final thoughts. Solder did not work for me, but the copper wire did. I think it was necessary in order to charge the battery. You had to have something thicker to carry that amperage back to the battery and charge it. Number two, I don't think of this as a permanent solution to the problem of having blown your fusible link. The solution would be to get the replacement part, which you can either get for a junkyard for not too expensive, or you can also get them on eBay for about 50 bucks. I'll try to post the link in the description below. Third thought is you're going to want to keep an eye on this if you do this job like me. I've been driving my car to and from town just for the rest of the day, and nothing's happened, so I'm feeling pretty confident in it. I'm going to keep driving it, but I'm also going to go to the junkyard and try and find one, and if I don't find one there, I'm going to buy one on eBay. So if this video was helpful for you, please like and subscribe. Helps boost this in the YouTube algorithm. This is just one of many rash decisions. Thanks for watching.